like, you know, favourite colour. I'm Alistair Audsley. I'm the writer and producer, and this is Paddy Jagger, who you may know. Ben Jagger, the director. So, fire away.
Yeah, if there's any questions, guys, fire away.
Who's going to start?
Okay.
JC David, how much of Roger would you say is you?
Okay, this is good. I'm not a psychopath. Yeah, exactly. I've got a knife in my back pocket. I think one of the main things that I could connect with Rob is his fear, basically, of being able to unbreak the mold, you know, from coming from a small place like Ireland, certainly where he came from, and then to move to LA and to try to become a star, what have you. I have that fear, you know. Where I come from in England, you know, I'm from a very small place, you know, I'm very far from LA and London, and the kind of drive in him is something that connected with me, something that really hit home for me. The yearning for something, you know what I mean? You can see that, you know, he's more than passionate, he becomes obsessed, do you know what I mean, by not only his music, but by a betrayal, but I'd say his passion and his drive, you know, if he wanted to be something, if he wanted to become something. It's a good question.
Yes.
One of my questions actually was that during the beginning scene, right before you enter Molly Malone's, I noticed that your character entered the bathroom and was having a lot of problems, you know, mentally with trying to focus himself. Now, was that actually connected to the betrayal, or was that actually something that was completely different?
Well, we can both answer this, but I'll start. But basically, it's a bit of a paradox as a character, Rob McAllister, because he's running for something, he's chasing after something, yet he's running, you know, he's striving for something, but he's running away from something at the same time, which is a past he doesn't care about. And the kind of paradox is, in order to move forward, to get what he wants, he has to accept his past, because that's what he writes about. He writes about this place of oppression, this, you know, not being able to break the mold, wanting to get out of Ireland, wanting to do this and do that. He has got some skeletons in his closet, but those you'll never know about. There's a whole backstory, but I'm not going to waste all your time tonight and tell you about that. It's crazy, actually, but whatever. You just speak it.
Well, I'm not going to tell you the whole backstory, but he is a very dark individual, and I think a lot of what you saw there was that he has to go into this basement in his mind to draw on his creativity, but what he's drawing on are memories and things that happen to him that are so dark that every time he does that, then it's actually a very negative process for him. So he ends up in, as Dean was saying, in this complete paradox where, in order to go forward, he goes backwards.
Wow. So that also explains a lot of the transition from time, because you'll notice in a lot of scenes when he's on the phone, it'll switch from dusk to night or from noon.
Yeah. This guy's great, you should come up here, do you know? Post-rationalising everything. I love it, man. Thank you, that's great. That's awesome.
Yes.
What's the story behind the music? How much of it did they perform, and who actually, if not them, then who did perform?
Some discussions, give me a second.
Yeah, listen, it would soon be revealed if we started singing.
A little bit, but no.
Yeah, certainly did. Yeah. What we wanted to focus on more than anything was the story of the band. It's a film that happens to be set in the music industry rather than being a music film. But obviously what you want to try and do is to portray the music at the highest possible quality. So what we ended up doing was putting a kind of a ghost band behind the band. And we drew on some phenomenally talented singer-songwriters and musicians. We've got one or two in here at the moment.
Lizard?
In fact, I can see
Colin
Lizard
McGuinness.
McGuinness. Colin, stand up. And we, effectively, we had original songs created, which will, be part of the soundtrack. I don't want to give a plug on that, but I will. Probably retailing on about $9.99 US. So look out for that in your favourite record store. Is that enough of that? Or? And we also, yeah, I'll share a story with you, which is I think, a really amazing coincidence. But we also, apart from having the band behind the Paddy Lincoln Gang, so the actual Paddy Lincoln Gang, we also needed some music which represented some of the characters. And there's a recurring theme for Rick and Ed, which is a song called Seven Strangers by a California band called Dinosaur Horses. Now, how we came across this band is just unbelievable. I happened to be in Libya, in Benghazi, the week after Gaddafi was taken out. And this does go somewhere. And while I was there, sort of treading over, you know, the rubble and the terrible evidence of what had gone on, and yeah, the exploded mortars and that sort of thing, I happened to meet a very talented documentary maker called Matthew Milan, who's in here. Now, Matthew, and Matthew was making a documentary called We Win or We Die, which was about the uprising. The cradle of freedom for Libya was Benghazi. And so I meet this guy, and we're both filmmakers, both have an interest in music as well. And Matthew said, there's this band back at home in California. Would you listen to that stuff? So anyway, he sent me a couple of MP3s through, and one of the songs was Seven Strangers. And I heard this song, and I thought, well, it's Rick and Ed. Mm-hmm. This is their thing. So I rang Ben up, and I said, he said, how'd you get on, in Benghazi and Libya and everything? I said, well, it was all right. I think I found a Californian band who have got the perfect theme for Rick and Ed. And so that was where that particular song came from. And the film, honestly, has been blessed with some of the most amazing coincidences like that. And that was one of them. So the band are in.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you for that, guys.
Basically, it was just like we wanted kind of like a fly on the wall sort of scenario, like almost like there's a third person, almost very subjective point of view, and we wanted kind of like that docu-style feel to it as well. So you had like a lot of handheld, mixed with some static shots and what have you. But yeah, we really wanted to put the audience to feel like you were almost like a fifth band member, so to speak. I mean, I know there's a lot of quite chopping back and forth and stuff like that, but it's kind of like representing going into his mind, out of his mind, and we kind of like wanted that back and forth, and as well with the writing as well. If you notice, we did like little cutaways when he's writing and stuff, so we planted seeds earlier on, so you'll be able to sort of like connect back to it. I mean, actually, if you watch it on a second screening, things will be like, oh yeah, exactly, yeah, it'll make a lot more sense. So yeah, we had like a quick pace cutting.
Yeah, you hear that was actually quite a clever plug for watching it theatrically and then buying it.
By the DVD, by the DVD. Thank you.
Gee, nice. Awesome.
Yeah. So it was I enjoyed the film. It was awesome. It was intense. It was dark. All the actors and actresses got a phenomenal job.
Yeah, well, you see, this is the funny thing, because it was in like 2 stages, because the feature that you've just seen right now, that was like based on a short that won awards. Now, the first time preparing for that, it was like there was only one conclusion, which is a guy that was obsessed by betrayal. Sure, he was introverted, but this time we went back, we had to create this whole world, the full like motive, what they meant to each other, the guys, do you know what I mean? We had to set the relationship stuff, so that was kind of weird, actually. I mean, the first time I approached it, I was depressed as shit for like 4 weeks. I was having nightmares and everything, do you know what I mean? Seriously. But like, the second time around, it was just a little bit tricky. I wasn't like depressed or anything, but it was just a little bit tricky. But I guess just, I spent a lot of time around musicians as well. That helped too. I mean, we had some great people on set, whatever, that made it look great. And more importantly, the guys that are in the film, like Richard Wagner and Joe DiMasso, I actually met at acting school a long time ago, so we had this kind of like base foundation going on anyways, and Dimitri, oh, it just fell into place to Dimitri. He's just like a little brother. I love that guy. So, you know, it wasn't too hard actually, you know, to set up. So.
We're going to start to wrap this up here. We're going to get ready for the next screening, but I'm sure these gentlemen would be happy to meet with you outside. Let's take one more question.
Okay.
One more question.
Okay.
My question. Okay. So, I'm a Paul writer. I like the film. It was really good, and I love Amy.
Yo, Amy.
Actually, about the cinematography, I thought that was really interesting aspect of it.
He's right here, right now.
He's right there.
Ryan Abadian, you stand up. Fantastic.
So how many cameras did you guys have, particularly in the band sequence when you were on stage filming?
Two. We were always like rolling like a principal, like A cam, and then B-roll.
Okay.
But we had like generally we're shooting everything. You know what I mean? Whatever we could get, we had like you know, we'd always set up like different angles and stuff. But yeah, but on the original shot, it was actually two different style of cameras, and we've actually used footage from the shot as the third act and blend them together, yeah, just to play homage to the shot. So yeah, but good job, Ryan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Absolutely. Guys, I just want to say as well, though, to all the crew that are here as well, that are back home, like as editor, as production manager, and just everyone that's worked on the film, just a big shout out to those guys. So a round of applause for them. Thank you, guys.
I just want to thank two people. My business partner in crime, David Bainbridge.
Awesome job, David.
Yeah, I was in Cannes last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm getting adult in my old age. I came with this notion of maybe us going forward with a feature, and rang David up and said, "Do you fancy coming on this sort of crazy ride with me?" And as ever, he did do. So thanks, David.
Awesome job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
I just want to thank my wife as well.
Good job. James Rayner here on the front row as well. Guy working the camera. Doing it every step of the way. Thank you, guys. Thank you.